Jimmy, what's going on? Not much, huh? Big fight coming up?
Yeah, big
August 14th, Ben Henderson. Not a title fight again, but probably the last fight before you get a title fight.
Maybe.
Sure. Maybe.
We'll see.
You already climbed the ladder in the lightweight division. You're at the top right now. Who coming up catches your eye right now?
You know, there are still a lot of tough guys. You know, intermixed with me. Clay's looked really good. You know, this last fight, you know, against Pettis, he used a little more control. It was a great display of what MMA is. You know, exploiting weakness, but you know, might not have been the most exciting. But his fights before that, he looked awesome.
Yeah.
And Gallard's looked, you know, looked really impressive as well. So there are a lot of tough guys in the division.
You have a "Don't go gentle" on your arm. Can you explain to us what that means to you?
It actually has nothing to do with fighting.
No?
Yeah, fighting is easy. You know, turning it on and you know, going into a third round that you know is a close fight or you're losing is easy because it's a choice. This is for the things that aren't a choice. You know, this is my little reminder. It's beginning of a Dylan Thomas poem. You know, do not go gentle into that good night. A poem that he wrote for his father who was on his deathbed.
Really?
So basically, just telling him, you know, fight. Don't give up. Don't, you know. Don't die without a fight.
There's a deeper side of Jim Miller.
Yeah. So this is for those situations that I get into. You know, if I'm with myself or my family or anyone, where you know you gotta step up, you know, and risk things. So that's just that little reminder.
You're a couple weeks out from the fight. How do you feel?
I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turning up training. You know, I had a decent little layoff after the last fight. Went on vacation, remodeled my kitchen and stuff like that. So.
What do you do in your off time? Do you have to take off time now that you're?
Yeah, you know, I did. I was off for quite a while. You know, I basically did the whole kitchen, you know, myself, and you know, some help from my father. You know, built cabinets, everything. So
you're pretty handy.
You know, I
punch people in the face.
Yeah, I like to do things. I like to get my hands dirty. I like doing things for myself. I don't like relying on other people for anything. You know, so if it's whether it's fixing a car, you know, remodeling, building something, gardening, just started my garden, you know, anything. I enjoy doing it. So.
What do you do, obviously, for strength and conditioning? What do you train with? Train with Martin Rooney?
Yeah.
Do anything crazy right now? I know you do the hurricane workouts and do some other things, but any new workouts implementing for you?
You know, not really. Martin is, you know, he's old school. He's, you know, lift big, you know, get strong, because strength, you know, is definitely an advantage to have inside the cage, and you know, the sport is, in my opinion, is a balance between, you know, athletic ability and technique. You know, gone are the days of guys who aren't athletes but with great technique, you know, beating everybody.
You need that balance.
Yeah, you need the balance, and you know, I get a great cardio workout when I'm in here, you know, training live or drilling, you know, hit pads, anything like that. So when I'm there, we're lifting to get strong and you know, really clamp down on guys.
Now that you're I take it you're more successful now, and you could really focus strictly on fighting. You've been a pro fighter for so long. This has been your full-time job for a while. Is it a relief now that you know you're at the top of the food chain and the sponsors are coming in? Can you focus more strictly on training and not worry about anything else? Does that help you train harder?
No.
You just love to fight?
Yeah, I love to fight. You know, it's
really not even about the money. You just love to fight.
I love to fight, man. You know, I want to fight the best in the world. I want to see just how good I can be at this sport. You know, and I don't feel like I've plateaued yet. So every time I'm
27?
Yes, 27. Yeah, I'll be 28.
So like the male peak really is 28 to 32 is really when you peak in strength and everything else.
So you know, I'm just trying to you know, to get in as much as I can and you know, have fun with it while I go. It's great being able to make a living, you know, doing something that I love, and you know, not having to deal with a day job and then come here and train. But you know, I got into fighting because I really enjoy it.
I remember Mike was from Tiffany's. Mike Romanelli was in the locker room. He's one of your cornermen sometimes. And he's like, holy shit, he's like, they got beat up. And he was talking to Mike Costantino, your manager, and he was like, Jimmy's actually one of the guys who just enjoys to fight. just doesn't bother. You don't really seem to get nervous. It's just you go out there. It's like getting a slice of pizza. It's pretty remarkable. What do you tell yourself in your mind? Like, well, it's just another day at the office.
Yeah, you know, I enjoy. I like the competition, and you know, really there aren't that. You know, getting punched in the face doesn't hurt that bad. To be perfectly honest, you know, getting your nose broke kind of sucks the recovery the next 2 weeks, not being able to breathe out of your nose. But yeah, it's not like it's super painful or anything like that, you know. And I grew up with 2 older brothers. We were wrestlers, so I've been, you know, rolling around and grappling my whole life. You know, so it came easy to me. You know, I got a hard head.
Yeah, you're pretty aggressive in the octagon. Gray Maynard, Frank Edgar. How do you feel they would do against you now, or separately?
You know,
like you're a completely different fighter.
Yeah.
Now than you were then.
Both of those fights, I know I could have won that night. I put each of them in danger, but too little, too late. You know. So I know I could have won either of those fights that night, and I have improved, drastically since I fought both of them. I mean, Frankie was almost 5 years ago, you know, and I had been fighting for a year. So that's I was 1/6 into my career, you know, and to say that it would be a similar fight is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're both totally different fighters. We're different camps. Both training much more professionally now, so it's a completely different fight. Gray was 2.5 years ago. Again, you know, I've improved so much from that. I've learned lessons from that fight. You know, expected him to make some mistakes, trained for him to make those mistakes, and he didn't do them in the fight. Now I train everybody is going to come out perfect striker, perfect grappler, you know, best of the best in every aspect. And if they make a mistake, I'm good enough to capitalize. I'm not preparing for them to make mistakes.
What does Gray have to do to beat Frankie, and what does Frankie have to do to beat Gray?
Gray's got to land those big shots and finish, and capitalize on it. And Frankie, I think, has got to do what he did last time, because I had him win in the last 4 rounds. He outworked Gray and, you know, really pushed the pace. You know, he's kid's tough as nails, and you know, he pushes. So they're both very talented fighters, and you know, it's one that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Any particular fighter you want to win that so you can fight, or it doesn't really matter?
You know,
I know you're friendly with
yeah,
Frankie.
I'm friendly with Frankie. He's a great kid. You know, he was a great training partner when we trained together. He made me a better fighter. You know,
which one would you rather punch in the face?
I'd rather punch Gray in the face. You know. But then again, you know,
nothing personal.
Yeah, nothing personal. That's a fight that I'd want to avenge a little bit more.
Yeah. Because it wasn't UFC. It was more in the spotlight.
Yeah.
It was more like you beat Jim Miller, the UFC fighter. Not Jim Miller. I just started fighting a year ago.
And things just didn't come together for me that night. You know. But the way I look at fights is that everybody's dangerous and everybody can beat you. And if I'm going to go into a fight and get beat, you know, of all the guys out there in my division, I have more respect for Frankie than anybody. So if somebody's going to beat me, I'd rather it be him. You know, I would really enjoy choking him if I got the chance to fight him. But you know, it's they're both really tough guys, and you know, they're very good at what they do.
I know you're a busy man. Any sponsors you want to thank before I let you go?
I really want to thank Fair Night Nutrition for, you know, keeping me, you know, healthy and you know,
keeping nutrients in the body.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of stress on the body, you know, doing this stuff. Coming right from strength and conditioning to grappling.
It's like playing golf.
Yeah.
And TRX?
Yeah, TRX, you know, Venom, you know, a lot of people have helped me out. So.
All right, so at Twitter, it's going to be at Jim Miller underscore, right? 155. Do you have a Facebook page? Fan page? He has a fan page. And we have a highlight video with him that UFC kicked us off YouTube for, so we're going to repost it again. Hopefully we'll get banned for putting it up. Hey, everybody, thank you very much. Jim Miller, we're out.